guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kivantie, and if you are new, nice to meet you. So today I kind of want to go more into my fashion side. I want to make a fashion video. I am currently studying fashion. I love fashion. Ever since I was little, like Brett's, I have a passion for fashion. A lot of people think that fashion is all glitz and glamour, especially the front lines and just like the main gist of it, but I find it really interesting to see like what is behind, you know, the fashion industry, and really like what is the process and what goes on behind the scenes, because it is very cruel and really just not okay and not really glitz and glamour. I am going to discuss everything wrong with the fast fashion brand Fashion Nova. Let's just get right into it, because let's look around. I have receipts. I have notes. I have notes. Last year, I think it was around the time of the beginning of quarantine, I don't know why, I saw a video. Let me look it up, because before I forget, I stumbled upon a video by a YouTube channel called Black Femininity TV. And it was a video about Fashion Nova and how the still you know, small designers' ideas and designs, and also how they treat their immigrant workers. And after seeing that video, I was just like, wow, like Fashion Nova's trash. Like literally they are trash. After watching that video, I stopped buying stuff from Fashion Nova for almost a year, I would say, just because, like, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me about, you know, how they would do local designers dirty. And it just seems like whoever is in charge of the brand, they only care about, you know, making money, and that's it. Which, I mean, technically that's a lot of businesses, but Fashion Nova, it's ooh girl. I will have the channel that I'm talking about down linked below, so you guys can watch it and see like where I'm coming from after watching that video, because it was really informative and it gave you a different perspective. Really, it made you sit and think back, like what these brands are doing. First, I wanted to talk about the manufacturing process. I took a class maybe like a year ago where we basically talked about how a garment is made, and what that process is like. I actually did a project maybe this past semester, spring semester, where I had to read an article about a business that is probably not really that ethical. And of course I did it on Fashion Nova. I ended up finding an article where it basically talked about how their workers, and I guess not just Fashion Nova, but there was also a few other brands that they mentioned, but Fashion Nova was included, and just how their workers, they literally work in a poorly conditioned environment, especially during COVID. And it's just so sad how businesses really treat their workers just because they're saving money. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care about the workers. That's what I'm trying to say. I read basically, and this is on Women's Wear Daily, so it's a pretty credible website. Again, I will have that article linked down below so you guys can look at it. First of all, I did not know Fashion Nova was basically manufacturing in the LA garment district. Fashion Nova proudly does manufacturing in LA or the US or whatever, and they are mainly take place in Los Angeles, LA, and that's where a lot of their garment factories are. First, this is what, okay, there's a few things. There is a few things. First off, they do not pay their workers by hourly wage. They pay their workers by piece, like garment by garment, basically. And what that means is that based off how much they make or how much they produce, depends, that's like their pay. Like how many garments they produce, that's how much they get paid based off how many hours they work. And let me just tell you, it is much lower than the minimum wage that is required in the US. And it's just sad because, like, I can imagine Los Angeles being a really expensive place to live in, and working a under minimum wage job, like how are they living? Like, how are they affording to live in Los Angeles? The fact that like businesses can get away with doing these things, like they're getting paid maybe like $4 an hour or something like that, and especially in less developed countries, they're getting paid like $4 a day. The article mentioned they're stating that workers tested positive for COVID cases because, you know, the work environment was not practicing COVID guidelines or COVID safety guidelines. Can you imagine working in a factory for maybe like, I don't know, 13 hours a day, and you know, you're all close bunched up between each other, just like making garments and stuff like that. And I can imagine like the building that they're working in is probably not well constructed, no AC or anything like that. So like, just imagine like how crazy that is. And it just blows my mind how a lot of brands don't really care about their workers, which doesn't make sense because you want your workers to be in the best health and shape that they can be so they can produce, you know, more product, because that's how you make money. I feel like there should be a law where businesses have to pay like minimum wage. Let me see, okay, because I don't even think it's a law. Let me look it up, shall we? So it looks like a lot of employers must pay their workers at least the federal minimum wage, which I think is $7.25. Girl, the workers, they get paid less than that. They're getting paid by garments, not by hour. So that kind of goes on to my next thing, is unethical practices. So like I mentioned, how the workers, they don't give them a safe work environment to work in. They don't pay them well enough to even, like, how can you live off like basically $4 an hour or so, and you live in LA in the US? Like, no. But what's even more crazy is that Fashion Nova has a program called Fashion Nova Cares, which is basically a program that they have where they donate to charities. I found that so ironic just because they say that they care about, you know, charities and nonprofits and just helping people in need, where literally their workers are the ones who are in need, but they're not helping them out. They worked with Cardi B in the past and also Megan Thee Stallion, and just raising money for people who are in need financially, especially how a lot of people were affected with the coronavirus. And I just thought, like, your workers literally are those people in need. Another thing is overworking their workers. A lot of fast fashion brands, they overwork the garment workers. There is this documentary called True Cost. I highly recommend that you watch it. It kind of gives you a backstory of, you know, how garment workers live, which a lot of them are more in less developed countries, and just seeing the difference where you know, the people that are making the garments, they're struggling, you know, they barely make a living, and the people who buy the products that they make are, you know.
And this is where my camera decided to cut off. Like, that camera's so ghetto, honestly. It is so ghetto. But basically what I was saying was that the documentary really shows the difference between who makes the garments and who are the consumers of those garments. Just seeing how, you know, garment workers live and their lifestyle and how they're struggling, versus as the consumer that is on the other end, who are buying the products that they make, who are, you know, better off and well. I guess what I'm trying to say is those people, they are much more better off than the garment workers. And especially as Americans, Americans tend to overconsume, and me for one, I love clothes, I love shopping, and shopping a lot, and just buying so many clothes, especially for cheap, it kind of drives more the demand for, you know, fast, cheap fashion. That documentary really shows the kind of the difference and how different the two worlds are, and how even the consumers don't really realize that other different side of the garment workers. So yeah, that was basically what I was saying whenever the camera shut off. In the next clip, I think I was basically talking about a influencer who worked with Fashion Nova in the past as kind of like a I guess influencer for them. They were like partnering up with her, and apparently they would constantly send her free clothes and she would promote them, but she never really got paid for, you know, doing those posts and stuff like that. Each time, you know, she would gain more followers, she would hit a certain mark that Fashion Nova said they would start paying her. They never do, like they never did. So that's what I was basically talking about. I'm gonna see the YouTuber's name. Let me check. The YouTuber's name was Alicia XO. I will have her video linked down below, but I think I'm gonna say that in the next clip anyways, so yeah.
I will have her video linked down below as well, so you could kind of watch that. I basically watched the whole thing just because I thought it was interesting how they did her dirty, and yeah. The next thing is marketing tactics. I'm a marketing major, like that's my major, and then I have a minor in fashion merchandising. And boy oh boy, personally, me, I have shopped at Fashion Nova in the past, and yeah, I think at the same time they're kind of smart with their marketing techniques because they really rely on social media marketing, which saves a lot of coin compared to like TV ads, billboards, and just like other forms of advertising, where most of their marketing and advertising is all online and just working with, you know, influencers, people who have a lot of followings like Cardi B, Megan, Kylie. Great, all great. But some other marketing techniques are very questionable. I remember it was earlier this year where everyone was getting their stimulus check, and y'all, like, ooh girl, they had the audacity to have a stimmy sell. I remember getting the email and just thinking, like, what is this? Like, I remember I was just like, this is so funny. They literally was trying to lure or convince people to spend their stimulus money on Fashion Nova clothes. They were literally promoting people and like telling people to spend their stimulus money on their clothes, when like in reality the stimulus check is supposed to be for necessities like food, bills that are like, I don't know, for the house to keep the lights on. But them literally having to sell and saying, oh yeah, spend your stimulus money on Fashion Nova clothes. Like, how self-centered can a business be? How? I remember showing this email to my fashion professor and she was disgusted. She was just like, she was just like, that is so sad. Like, I just remember the disappointment on her face whenever I told her about the email. And I just thought it was funny. Like, I didn't think it was funny, I like the disappointment on her face, but I just thought the email was funny. And it wasn't a joke. They were being serious. It was an actual sell. I really thought, like, I don't know if there was any other business that had a stimmy sell, like a stimulus sell going on at the time. Let me know down below, but definitely Fashion Nova had one, and it was just really low. Like, it was really low, for real. I had personal experiences with Fashion Nova where it just was not the best, to be honest. The last package or the last order that I made, or that I ordered, I bought jeans and I didn't like one pair, so I wanted to return another pair, or that pair that I didn't want. And the fact that one, we have to pay for shipping to ship it back. Two, they don't give you the option to get your money back on your card, or however you paid. They only give you the option to get a gift card. First of all, it is illegal. It is illegal for a business to only allow the option for gift card for returns. Actually, I think it was last year sometime, Fashion Nova had to pay $9.3 million for not providing consumers to get a refund back onto their cards. Instead of actually giving the option to refund back people's money, they decided to just pay the charges. So that's why I am kind of just like inching away from Fashion Nova, just because I know every single time I order something and I don't like it, I'm gonna have to, one, you know, I have to spend money to ship it back, and then I get a gift card. Like, I'm stuck with a gift card so I can buy something else off their website, and then do the whole process all over again. Like, it's a cycle. And then I don't know if y'all also realized, I realized this a few times, but this is ridiculous. Let me tell y'all. So going back to their products, like in general, yeah, that's not their designs. No, honey, that's not theirs. They buy from vendors. Yeah, a lot of them buy from vendors that are probably not even made in the US, and they basically buy all, like, whatever units they want to buy from that vendor for a specific item, and then they basically take it to I guess their manufacturing factories, and they basically just put a Fashion Nova tag on the clothing and ship it off to the distribution center or something. I don't know. There is this bodysuit that I own that I got from Shein, which I also know is a fast fashion brand. Yikes. But I literally got it for, like, I don't even know, under $10. They had the same bodysuit on Fashion Nova website for $25. When I mean the upcharge, they upcharge. Okay. It says that garment workers in Los Angeles make roughly $5.85 an hour or $335 a week on average, of more than 57 hours of labor. Like, that's overtime, based off if you have a full-time job, 40 hours a week, without compensation for meals and rest breaks. I feel like at the end of the day, consumers do have the hand, like, they do have the ball in their court, you know. I'm a consumer as well. I love clothes, and I'm a college student, so I like cheap clothes. But at the same time, I do feel like there should be some sort of balance. I feel like a lot of people like really cheap clothes, and you know, I wouldn't mind paying an extra few dollars if that means it's bettering a garment worker's lifestyle and how they work, because, you know, that's just how I am. So I hope you guys found this video informative. While researching this and just over the past year, just really seeing behind the scenes of how Fashion Nova is and just really analyzing them, it's crazy. And yeah, I'm not buying from them anymore. Personally, I know a lot of people are still going to buy from them, and their business is going to continue growing because, you know, obviously they're doing something right, you know. I am going to be making more fashion related videos, so be on the lookout for that, as well as reactions and whatever else I feel like making, to be honest. All the sources that I used and that I looked up and researched about Fashion Nova, I will have linked down below for you guys, just so if you guys are interested in learning what I talked about, then I will have a link down below in the description box, And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.